Still frozen solid, so Bradford Northern have switched their match downtown to Valley Parade. Leeds, a club verging on another crisis, face a tough local derby. Derek Fox is back for Bradford. He gave Northern the thumbs up after missing the regal tie against Barrow, and he wasn't playing against Wigan when the fog brought proceedings to a halt. Gerald Caudle did score a try in the gloom, but it won't count. After 13 minutes, the match abandoned, Bradford slipped down the big league table. In their last match 3 weeks ago, Northern, then league leaders, came crashing down. Saints hit one of their purple patches, and Anthony Sullivan ran in 4 tries. Paul Newlove wasn't there that day, but the club's record signing is out to torment Leeds today. Jason Donoghue joined Leeds on Friday and stepped straight into a side that's won just one of its last 8 matches. That was last Sunday against his old club Leigh. Leeds won, but it was a struggle, though Alan Tate continued his outstanding form. Doug Lawton has had little to smile about this season. The storm clouds are gathering at Headingley again, and a red-hot local derby is the last thing he'd want at this stage. Now, there were problems for Northern last week building up to the Wigan game, but in the main, those injury worries have cleared, so David Watson reverts to his more usual position of full-back. Gerald Caudle, the Welsh international, is on the wing. His only Great Britain cap came against France in 1991. Darryl Shelford is the New Zealand centre and has scored 4 tries in his last 5 games. Paul Newlove is one of the best young players around at the moment. The Great Britain international cost the club record £245,000 from Featherstone Rovers. Brian McKebby is on the wing in 5, 7 tries in Northern's last 7 games. Neil Summers has settled in for the stand-off position this season. He's been ever present so far. Derek Fox back after injury. Good news for Bradford. He'll want a big game too. Leeds were reportedly going to sign him before he joined Bradford, but then Leeds elected to take Andy Gregory from Wigan instead. Up front, David Hobbs is back. At 35, he's the oldest man on the pitch, but he's still going strong. A tourist to Australia way back in 1984. Trevor Clark has edged the former Great Britain skipper Brian Noble out of the side this season. John Hamer completes the front row, a rare try from him in the home win over Leeds last season. Second row sees 2 former Leeds men lining up against their former club. Roy Powell was Peter Fox's first major signing, and Paul Dixon followed him to Odsal from Headingley this summer. Carl Furbank completes the lineup. Furbank, who played prop in all 3 tests for Great Britain against the Kiwis, he's the Bradford loose forward. And the coach is Peter Fox, and he includes Leeds in the list of clubs that he has served in the past. Bitterly cold day, and everyone wrapping up to keep the cold out. They're here to see Leeds, who've won just 1 of their last 8 games, that against the bottom club Leigh last Sunday. Desperate to return to consistent and winning ways, they'll have it all on to topple a determined Bradford side today. But Alan Tate, their fullback, is arguably their most consistent performer all season. Jim Fallon played in the unaccustomed role of second row last week against Leigh. He's back on the wing today. Kevin Iro was away on international duty with the Kiwis in France last Sunday, and he scored 2 tries. He's back today though for Leeds. Craig Innes, the former All Black, is alongside him. He's missed just 2 matches in almost 2 years. Simon Irving will kick for goal for Leeds. He also scored a try against Leigh last week. Graham Holroyd is an outstanding youngster, and Gary Schofield is out injured, so Holroyd is grabbing his opportunity with both hands. And a debut just 3 days after signing for Leeds on loan until the end of the season, the former Leeds scrum half, Jason Donoghue. Neil Harmon is out injured, so Gary Rose comes into the front row. Rose, married 2 weeks ago, he had the ceremony in the morning, and he followed up with a match at Salford in the afternoon. James Lowes is the hooker. He's playing today his 42nd consecutive match since he joined Leeds from Hunslet. Ian Scott, the former Workington Town man, is the prop forward in 10. Well, the Bradford side might be packed with ex-Leeds man. Here's a man who moved in the opposite direction via Warrington, the Kiwi, Gary Mercer. Richie Ayres is in the second row, 2 tries in 7 games for Leeds now. And another man who played for Northern in the past, Ellery Hanley. He's fit again. He returned to the substitutes bench against Leigh. He's now back in the full side after missing 5 games. The coach is Doug Lawton. He's a man under pressure, but he's had to live with that pressure every day since he arrived at Headingley, to be fair to him. So it's Valley Parade that stages the top match of the day in the big league. It's Bradford Northern against Leeds, and it'll be a rough, tough local derby. You can bank on that. Bradford Leeds at Valley Parade. Leeds emerge from the dressing rooms here at Valley Parade, anxious to arrest the slump. 9th in the table. Their win against Lee last week ended a 9-week barren spell for the Loiners. It was their first win since September. The team that has been expensively assembled by coach Doug Lawton really needs to find some form soon. And quite a match for Jason Donoghue to make his debut in. He arrived at Headingley only on Friday on a loan until the end of the season. And Bradford Northern, the club needs to be congratulated for switching their match from Odsal to Valley Parade, ensuring that this game goes ahead. And purely and simply because of the attraction of coming here, and no doubt the attraction of this fixture, this kick-off has been delayed this afternoon by 10 minutes to allow everybody to get in. And there is a man, Bremer Kebby, who is desperate to make his mark on today's match in a bid to prove Leeds wrong. There's his old boss, Doug Lawton, wrong, that is. Kebby was incensed when he read in a recent newspaper report that the Headingley chief described him as his only unsuccessful signing when he snapped him up for Widnes a few years ago. Let's check on where Kebby will play. Kebby will play in 5. Watson the fullback, Caudle, Shelford, Newlove, Kebby, Summers and Fox, who is the captain, restored to the side after injury. Hobbs, Clark, Hamer, Powell, Dixon and Furbank, and the substitutes Steve McGowan and Paul Medley. A clutch of those players have got experience with Leeds, and that could well be the key to a possible Bradford victory here today. Graham Holroyd has grabbed his chance with Great Britain captain Gary Schofield out injured. Holroyd, one of the impressive list of youngsters at Headingley, is playing at standoff half. Tate, Fallon, Iro, Innes, Irving, Holroyd at 6, and Donoghue on his debut at 7. And the forwards, Rose, Lowes, Scott, Mercer, Ayres and Hanley. And the man with the longest name in the British Rugby League, Marcus Vasilikopoulos, is the substitute in 14, and Neil Batty is in 15. Match referee is Jim Smith from Halifax. We saw him on the big league last Sunday in charge of the match between Warrington and Castleford. That was a classic. Let's hope that this will be as well. Jim Smith turning his back on our camera at the moment, but he had control of the 1991 Challenge Cup final between Wigan and St Helens. Paul Dixon, one of the former Leeds men in this Bradford side. Dixon and Powell and Clark, Medley on the bench. They've all had experience of Headingley, and they really do love to turn the screw whenever they come up against their former team. There's another of them, Roy Powell. He was Peter Fox's first signing. £80,000 from Leeds, and it was Powell really in that signing that kept Bradford up at the end of that first season that Fox was back in charge. They're not talking about relegation now at Bradford, they're talking about the Stones Bidder Championship turning up at Odsal this season. But today we're at Valley Parade, the home of Bradford City. It's a great local derby that's in prospect. Bitterly cold day, but an excellent crowd has come downtown here to watch this one. Super atmosphere inside this stadium. A lot of people say, Steve-O, that Bradford Northern should move here permanently.
Yes, it's a great stadium, there's no doubt about that. But it means that they want the 2 points very badly. I just get the feeling that Leeds will perhaps get it right today. There really was a great buzz in the dressing room in the Leeds side. They know how important it is to get on the winning ways.
It's Dave Watson who disappears under that challenge. Now Derek Fox, but he dropped it. He saw Hanley, I think, from the corner of his eye, closing in for the kill.
Well, he wanted the run around, didn't he? You could see there he'd taken his eyes off the football. He was looking for the support players. Bitterly cold out there. Bit of nerves perhaps. Oh, and that's an awful pass, and that's a knock on, surely.
Now Jim Smith signalling the ball went backwards. Play on. Holroyd escapes. Leeds escape. They are still in possession with Fallon.
Well, it wasn't the best pass from the debut boy, Jason Donoghue. Graham Holroyd, all sorts of problems trying to pick that one up, but that will look forward.
Mercer has got Roy Powell round him. Mercer, who's in fine form for Leeds, dumped to the ground. Lowe's to Holroyd, who hangs on this time. It's a good kick up too. It puts Watson under some pressure. It bounces quite kindly, almost for Watson. What's the referee's decision here? He's given the try. Sensational start for Leeds. The ball hung in the air. Watson didn't go for it on the full. Allowed it to bounce. It bounced awkwardly, and the touchdown was given.
It was a super kick. Holroyd hoisted it through there, back to the blind side. It was a set pattern move, and Watson allowed it to bounce. And scheming through there is the fullback Alan Tate, and that has got to be a super try. Into the snow, but he won't mind that. It took an age for the referee. He checked with his touch judges first. You can see the set piece. Alan Tate had run to kick the ball there. He knew it was going to be away. It was an awful bounce. Watson really should have taken that, and that is a fair try. Super camera work too.
Alan Tate maintains an excellent run. That's 6 tries in Leeds' last 6 now. It's his 7th of the season. And Holroyd with the super kick and with the conversion attempt. It's 6-0. Great start for Leeds, this. They couldn't have wished for a better beginning. So Bradford Northern have to restart. And they really will be rocked on their heels. 3 minutes gone. Leeds ahead. The ball comes free. It rolls into touch. It will be head and feed to Leeds.
No doubt about it that Kevin Iro is interfering there, trying to pull the ball out. But what a start from Leeds. It was a super kick from the youngster, Graham Holroyd. A set move. It's always great for a side to get on the scoreboard first of all with a set pattern move like that.
Donoghue feeding the scrum for Leeds. Something he hopes to do obviously till the end of the season, and then earn himself a contract for next season from Headingley. But that was a rough, tough challenge from Furbank on Jim Fallon. Powell on Mercer, Lowe's dummy half. Here's Gary Rose trying to run straight over the top of John Hamer. Ian Scott now. That's better tackling from Bradford. Holroyd again. Another kick. Arrowing its way towards Watson. Again he lets it bounce. This time it was a little kinder for him.
Good kick and chase there from Leeds. They really are fired up. We mentioned before the game that there was a buzz in their dressing room. Under a lot of pressure, the Leeds side over the last couple of months. What a great fillip it would be, and they're offside on the blind side, referee Smith, and they throw in trading punches. Mercer's in there.
Well, it was a challenge originally on Gerald Caudle by James Lowe's that brought all that anger about. Caudle wasn't happy with it, neither were some of his teammates. And Jim Smith will hold the clock up, take a report no doubt from his touch judge, and then take the necessary action. That's the original challenge that upset Gerald Caudle.
Just picks him up there, spins him down, nothing wrong with it.
And remember, of
but
course, Steve, the whistle had gone, you see,
yes,
on the far side for offside.
They're throwing punches. Gary Rose gets one in there. Mercer's at it. Neil Summers, only a small bloke, but he was throwing them with the best. Fiery customer.
Well, it's a penalty to Bradford Northern as a result of that. Fox deposits the ball into the stand on that far side. Hamer with the run. The last time that Bradford Northern played at Valley Parade in the big league was against Wigan in April 1988. They lost that day. They won't want to lose here. It will cost them dearly in the race for the championship.
Oh, that was high. Gary Rose really swinging the arm there. Look at this. Oh, come on.
Newlove with the run through 1, through 2, and then dragged to the floor. It was good tackling by Holroyd. Watson has joined into the line. He comes back the other way. Watson. Desperate defence now from Leeds. It's the last tackle for Bradford. This is Roy Powell. He's all wrapped up though. Nowhere to go. Good defence.
Super defence there from Richard Ayres and Ian Scott. There was no way in the world that Powell could release that football.
Now it's a question of Bradford trying to keep Leeds' pen back there, and Leeds obviously trying to get it up the other end. Here's Jim Fallon. Played last week in the second row, did Fallon. Got the ball away somehow. Leeds keeping it alive. Mercer trying to run all over the top of Furbank. Well, this is a rough and tough local derby, and Mercer has felt something there, and he's not getting up.
Well, didn't look to be anything there. Drop forward John Hamer being pushed away.
But Steve-O, players on both sides are getting up off the ground and snarling at each other, aren't they?
Well, there's no love lost between the two sides. Former players against their old clubs. Ellery Hanley, one of them. And John Hamer, the man involved with the tackle. Probably just a little bit winded is the Kiwi second rower. He's a tough customer. He's been one of Leeds' better players this season.
Time goes back on. Leeds restart. This is Richie Ayres. Yeah, maybe the impact of the tackle on what is sure to be quite a hard pitch here at Valley Parade. No danger of it being dangerous, but it's obviously quite solid underfoot.
I don't think the players will be worried too much about how hard the pitch.
Hobbs with the run. Clark's the dummy half to Fox. Summers, good ball forward. Caudle's after it. The pace of Caudle just didn't bounce kindly for him. Good job there that Simon Irving was alert to the danger.
Oh, he really went then, didn't he? Caudle was just too strong and too fast for Jason Donoghue.
Craig Innes sporting a very short haircut these days. The New Zealander, former All Black. Wonder what he made of events at Twickenham yesterday. That was a great ball from Mercer to Iro. Iro's got Fallon. He's got Hanley. He leaves it though for himself. Takes Watson out completely. And that's a sensational try from Kevin Iro. Watson took the dummy and Iro just strode in.
Super duper play from Leeds, and Mercer, the step, runs out wide, pens away, throws the dummy. Now look at this super pass, right at the very, look at that, oh, that's great play. Iro, the big striding centre, he just throws the dummy, take that, and Watson does. Doesn't need much, the big fellow, but great play. Now Bradford were caught with the defence, they didn't move up quickly. Fox took the dummy out wide, and that pass was superb. You could have driven 2 double-decker buses through there, and look at this dummy, just a shake of the hips. Here it comes. Go, Mr. Watson, go, go, go. Iroing for the try. What a great start to Leeds.
Excellent try from Kevin Iro. 2 for New Zealand last week in France, and now this one here today. And a few seconds ago, Graham Holroyd with the left-footed conversion attempt. Well, he's not only a great creative player, but he can kick a goal as well, Holroyd. 2 out of 2 from him. 10 out of 10 for Leeds. They lead 12-0. Well, Steve-O, you said that they were all fired up in the dressing room. Mercer most certainly is the Kiwi second rower. But Leeds, well, on this form, they're as good as anything.
They've really got it together, haven't they? They've lifted themselves, they're working for each other, and all. That's a bad mistake. It's amazing what can go against you. The hooker there knows it as well. Went backwards, but seemed to knock on. Big mistake there by James Lowes. But what a great start for Leeds. The set pattern, the planned move, the kick brought the first try. And a great pass from Gary Mercer sent Iro through for the second.
Summers to Newlove. Good tackling, Hanley. Holroyd was there too. So was Richie Ayres. This is John Hamer. Bradford forwards running straight. Remember that in this corresponding fixture last season, they beat Leeds 36 points to 6. Furbank with a good run.
This is going to test the Bradford character now. Can they fight back?
Hobbs to Fox. Finds Powell. Almost through, but Iro read the situation well. Fox now switches the direction of this attack with Watson and Furbank. Furbank unloads, looking for the second rower, Dixon. Dixon couldn't get to it.
Dixon claiming that it was interfered with before he got the ball. It was Mercer that came through, but it was a ball and all tackle. Split decision.
Fallon from dummy half, brought to grief by Clark and also Hamer. Lowes is there, finds Hanley. Hanley rolls the ball brilliantly. Hanley again, the dummy half. It's back with Holroyd. Not the best kick. Cordell will collect it. Irving waits for him. Pulls him down.
Well, it wasn't the best kick there from Holroyd, but the chasing was there. They did the right thing. They stood away 10 metres. That's holding down. Prop forward, Gary Rose, the culprit. That won't bring a smile from the Leeds coach, Doug Lawton.
Gary Rose. Yes. Clark, the dummy half. Powell to Dixon. Two former Leeds men who would love to be on a winning side, but at the moment it's Leeds who are in the driving seat. Summers to Kebby. Kebby, a man with a point to prove, as we pointed out at the start of this match. Newlove in at dummy half. Here's Fox. Takes it one-handed. Long pass to Hobbs. He helps it further wide to Shelford. Shelford to Cordell. But the passes are just not going right for Bradford at the moment. They all seem to me to be 50-50s, and they're not coming off.
No, that was a forward pass as well from Shelford to the winger Graham Cordell. Very impressed with the way that Leeds are organising their defence. You could see the sliding defence pushing away there. And for a team that's let in so many soft tries this season, really is a turn up for the book today. They've got it right, that's for sure.
Donoghue. Brought to ground and to grief by Summers. Lowes the dummy half. Leeds are swarming forward again. This is Tate. Dabs the ball into the corner. And it just finds touch with Fallon motoring up behind Kebby.
They're doing everything right, aren't they? They're making the gaps, and then when the opportunity comes to them, the neat kick down into the corner. It's all about applying the pressure. And Bradford are really having a problem getting out of this.
Fox with the scrum feed, he finds Summers. Tate has moved up there, so has Holroyd. And Hanley was waiting in case Summers got away from the first two tacklers. Offside again against Leeds. They're all so eager to move up, they're just too eager at the moment.
Well, they've opted to take the tap, you can see quite clearly. They never made the 10. There's about 5 that he could choose from with Mr. Smith.
Bradford took a very quick tap penalty. They haven't kicked for touch in territory. They've decided to run this ball. They are now with Fox, who puts the brakes on, goes round 360 degrees and then heads forward, but straight into the trouble that was waiting him in the shape of Richie Ayres. Now Watson, who gets the ball to Hamer. This is a better run from Hamer. Tries to brush off Donoghue. Donoghue stuck to him. Bit of help also from Irving.
Super play by the prop forward there. Hamer really showing his speed.
Furbank trying to get away from Hanley. Hanley would have none of it. Brought him to the ground. That must be 6 to go. Newlove, who was tackled without the ball there as he chipped forward. Tackled by the second row, Mercer. Referee not interested in the Bradford appeals.
Well, it was an awful play, the ball. They played it too quick. There was no one at dummy half. It was Newlove that took it through there. And that was play on. You still had possession of the ball when the second rower, Gary Mercer, went down into the tackle. And that's the knock on, little as though it may be. Just what the doctor ordered as far as Bradford are concerned. Head and ball at the scrum. It's desperation now for Bradford. They've got to score quickly to get back into this game. They really have lost the plot, haven't they?
A try here would be just what they want. They're 15 metres from the line. Watson has chimed in on that scrum. Thinking about releasing the pass to Summers. Thought again. Took the tackle. There's Summers' dummy half. This is Powell. Roy Powell running strong and straight. He does that and has done that all the way through his career. Clark, short ball to Hamer, who met that one at pace. Good defence again from Leeds. This is where Leeds have been vulnerable in the past this season. Fox gets the ball back to Dixon. He unloads to Summers. Summers with the try. Exactly what Bradford needed. Summers took a clout as he touched the ball down, but he's got the 4 points, and it's his 8th of the season.
Great play by Paul Dixon. A little run round there with Fox, the back inside pass. But look at that super Paul. Great stuff. Neil Summers in for the try. Watch how Fox does the dummy and then the run through. But look at the inside pass there. Beautiful ball there for the number 6, Neil Summers. Well, we said that they had to get back into this game quickly, and what better way than this? Great play by the second rower, Dixon, and good support play by Summers.
Neil Summers with the try. Derek Fox with the conversion attempt to come. It's very important he slots this over, and he does. Bradford are very much back in the hunt, trailing by 6 points to 12.
See how it runs through, the man coming thing, and there's the support. Look at the gap. That's why the try was scored. Excellent play. Well taken there by Summers.
So Bradford are back in the hunt for the 2 points here today. A match that looked to be running away from them, but I think, Steve-o, it's worth pointing out that Bradford, they only played 13 minutes against Wigan last weekend because of the fog, and perhaps they're just a little ring rusty.
No, they're professional footballers, Eddie. I can't agree with you on that one. Oh, but I call them professional. What do? They do a basic, simple error like that. Schoolboy stuff, I'm afraid, from the loose forward Carl Fairbank. Lost the concentration there. Bad mistake.
So Leeds are back in possession with Hanley. Former Bradford Northern player, of course. Great tackle in the end to keep him out. Clark, but in the end Clark interfering, holding Hanley's ankles as he tried to take a quick play the ball. He's conceded a penalty, Trevor Clark.
No doubt about it there. You can see he interferes with him. And the referee has given the penalty already by this time. Watch him come at it in the second turn. There you can see just the pull of the leg. That was enough. Not happy with it. Professional foul. I've seen them get 10 minutes in the sin bin for less.
Midway through this first half then, Leeds ahead by 12 points to 6. And this penalty would stretch the lead to 8 points. And Holroyd with the Shaw boot. What a prospect. We talked about prospects on Friday at Saints. But my word, Graham Holroyd is another of the names that you should watch out for in the near future. Bradford then trailing. Let's go down pitch side. One of the injured Leeds players, Neil Harmon, is with Mark Wallace.
Neil, a great start for Leeds. Yeah, it's been a dream start. The game plan's working well. Bradford have a big set of forwards, and we're just trying to kick them down in their own half and pin them there and let them make mistakes. And up to now, they've done that.
I was talking to Alan Tate in the week. He was saying Leeds can do this for, say, 60 minutes of the game, but there's a 10-minute period where they let teams back in.
Yeah, that has been the case as of late, but I mean the atmosphere is brilliant today in the changing rooms. We know what job we've come here to do, and you know, like I said before, we've got a dream start.
What was emphasised in the changing rooms before the start of the game?
Just to contain the big forwards. They've got a big pack, Derek Fox is the midfield general. We're just trying to cut his options down, and the defence is moving up and doing that. You know, we've had a few lapses, but up to now it's going well.
Doesn't look like there's much love lost out there either.
No, both sets of forwards are going to test each other out in the first 10-15 minutes, and tensions are high. But it's, you know, we're coming out on top up to now.
Neil Harmon on the touchline watching proceedings here. I'm sure he'd be relishing this challenge that is ahead of Leeds today if he was out on the field. Great kick into the corner though from Holroyd, wasn't it?
He's a wonderful talent, isn't he? Beautiful pair of hands, good kicking game. As you mentioned, Eddie, the start of the future.
Penalty against Leeds. Again, holding down in the tackle.
Well, that's the second occasion within the last 10 minutes that they've given away a silly penalty. When you get a super kick downfield like that, applying all the pressure to Bradford, what do? They give away a silly penalty and let Bradford off the hook.
Rose and Hamer standing toe-to-toe. By the way, they found a metal tent peg or something on the pitch here at Valley Parade, and that's why there was a slight delay while we were hearing from Neil Harmon. David Hobbs gave the offending article to referee Jim Smith, and it had to be taken off the field. Meanwhile, David Hobbs has lost this offending article, or was it stolen from him?
Oh, it was Ellery Hanley using the fingers. Got away with it though. It was on the blind side to the referee.
Donahue from the base of the scrum gets the ball away to Hanley. Hanley will straighten up, and Burbank slips. Newlove has Hanley though, brings him down. Newlove will have to get away. The referee's already penalised both sides for holding down. Good play from Newlove though.
That should be back to 6. Newlove got his hand to it.
Referee hasn't signalled. This is Richie Ayres. Steps through Summers, can't get away though from Clark. Lowe's. Donahue. Tate. Iro. Good run from Iro. Gets the ball away, keeps it alive to Holroyd. Long pass from Holroyd, one bounce into the arms of Fallon. Fallon trying to get round Kebby, and Newlove came across and forced him into touch, but Newlove has cracked his hip.
Great tackle there from Brimmer Kebby. Newlove coming in over the top, but excellent play by Leeds. A good break by Jason Donahue, backed up by the skipper Ellery Hanley, but look at this tackle. Now Newlove goes over there. Oh, that's...
I think it's the elbow.
Yeah, the left elbow.
Looked like it was his hip to begin with. But Newlove is down, and Iro is down too, receiving treatment for Leeds.
I think the elbow went into the ribs. Probably sprung one of the rib cartilages.
Simon Irving's needing treatment too. Oh, dear me, it's a rough, tough battle this. And it looks at the moment as though Paul Newlove is the more serious casualty.
He looks winded, doesn't he? They're working on the rib cage.
Maybe it is the hip, the way he's holding it there, see? It's the elbow that's gone into the bone, hasn't it, as you said?
Pretty sore. He's a tough character, though. Paul Newlove. Bradford desperately need him to stay on the field.
Watson running at Holroyd. The elbow was a little high then from Watson.
Gee, there's plenty of talk between these players who really are getting into each other. Look at that, that's the elbow going into the youngster Graham Holroyd. And it goes again.
Burbank trying to bring Bradford up the other end of the field. Hamer tries to get through Gary Mercer, but Mercer, the number 11 there, he's won the Club Man of the Match award for Leeds each of the last 3 matches. In a terrific vein of form, the Kiwi. That's a good chip over the top and a good chase too. Shelford's there, so is Caudle. Tate drops the ball. Big mistake by Tate. Tries Summers. Oh, Alan Tate holds his head in his hands. Summers with the try. And Tate, the man who's played so well this season, comes up with the biggest of blunders.
Awful mistake from the full-back, but it was a great kick by David Hobbs. The chasers were there. He relaxes here, does Tate, and that, the impact from Darryl Shelford and Neil Summers won't get any easier than that one. But what a time to hit back. salutes the crowd. This is what it's all about. Kick the ball into the corner and hope that the mistake will come, and look at that impact of the tackle from Shelford. Summers says thank you very much indeed. Well, a great start by Leeds, but so often it's been that this season they just allow the sides to come back. Silly mistake from Tate.
Fox jogging back after this conversion, and the flags are raised, and so the battle now is joined, and Alan Tate knows he's made the mistake, but it was a super tackle from Darryl Shelford. 14-12, Leeds lead.
It's all about percentage, and that's why they have the big kick, but it was a great kick from Hobbs, and the chasers were there.
Well, Marcus Vasilakopoulos has come on. There's one to test you, Steve-O.
Vasilakopoulos.
Very good. And Simon Irving is off.
He's a talented kid as well, Marcus Vasilakopoulos. He really is a very good player.
Oh, you're just showing off now.
No, they coach Doug Lawton. He's got big raps on this youngster.
Yes, he's the best of the bunch, Dougie Lawton says. He's got some great young talent to emerge at Headingley, and Vasilakopoulos is the best. This is new love. He gets it to Furbank, and my word, Bradford suddenly are running hot. Last tackle, Fox steps inside Iro, not the best pass in the world. Furbank gets a hand to it, little knock on by Iro, but I think the referee will play first knock on. It'll be Leeds head and feet at the scrum.
Well, it wasn't the best pass, but Fairbank really should have gone for this ball rather than kick it. It'll play the knock on. It should be the Leeds head and feet, which it is. Well, we were talking about this strong defence from Leeds so far in this game, but in the last couple of minutes they've just lost their way. They're not moving up in one unit.
Iro is running strongly though, isn't he? That was a good ball to James Lowe's, the hooker. It's a real roughhouse out there. There's a mistake from Innes. Bradford have the ball back. They're putting pressure on. Clark, good ball to Cornwall. Cornwall fancies a race, so it bounced off Tate's ankle. And Gerald Cornwall, the Welshman, fancy taking them all on then.
Well, I don't know why he opted for that option on the first tackle. He should really have just taken it down to the corner and played out the six.
Lucky in many ways that it came off Tate's ankle, because Bradford get the head and feet at this scrum, so they'll still be in possession. And they are now with Summers.
A comedy of errors, I'm afraid, from Leeds.
He dabs it forward. It's going to come off for Shelford. That's a great try. The ball this time found the gap, and Bradford have capitalised on Leeds, who seem to have gone to sleep.
Beautiful kick from Summers, and it just shows you the importance of playing a team game, and Darryl Shelford knew exactly what was going to be on. They pay the price. In the modern day game, the fullback plays up in the one line. That means there's no one at home, and that means it's a simple try for Shelford, but that's a well-worked move. They'll be pleased with that with Bradford. I'm sure their coach Peter Fox will be happy.
Just caught sight of Derek Fox adding the conversion. We've had 5 tries here in half an hour of breathtaking rugby league. 18-14 Bradford, they have the lead for the very first time. What a comeback.
Well, we said it would test their character. Leeds got off to the dream start that they were looking for. They really were fired up for it. But full credit to Bradford, they have shown that character.
Darryl Shelford, 5 tries in the last 6 matches. He's in great form too.
Super form, but you've got to go back to the fact that Leeds, something they've done all season, 2 silly mistakes, have let Bradford in for 2 tries.
Fox is the dummy half. Paul Dixon eyeballing the Leeds players. Hamer was hauled back then. Jim Smith had a real match to control last week. Warrington Castleford, he's got another one here. Hobbs running strongly, ball bounces out under the challenge from Rose. Leeds have it back. Vasilakopoulos.
Was this a high one? It looked it to me right over the top. David Hobbs is screaming at referee Smith, saying, "Didn't you see that?" Gary Rose swinging the left arm.
Great tackle from Powell on Mercer. Holroyd. Donahue and Holroyd again. This is Iro. The ball went over the shoulder, went backwards. Fallon picks up the pieces. Play on, says Jim Smith.
You can see Graham Holroyd saying he wants to get it up.
Iro running strongly. Straight through the gap. Almost through Fox. He and Furbank bring him down. Lowe's. Hanley. Hanley with a little rubber kick. Oh, it bounces kindly. The God shining on Dixon.
He went for it. He knew that the kick was coming through. You'll see him there. He throws out the hand, David Hobbs. He knew that the kick was through. Excellent play by David Hobbs there.
Meanwhile, Paul Dixon is down injured as a result of this challenge.
They twist him. They twist him in the tackle. The impact there.
But look at that. Paul Dixon just held on somehow to the football, despite the fact that he was in obvious distress.
But what a super kick from Ellery Hanley. And what great play by David Hobbs. Watch this now. Hobbs definitely goes for it. There you can see he flicks it back with his left arm. He had to. And Paul Dixon, this is where he gets crunched. But he had sense of mind to hang on to possession. There's the man who was denied that neat little kick. Great attack and great defence.
Well, Dixon is taking some treatment, but it's one match this he will not want to leave prematurely. But Paul Medley, another former Leeds man, is desperate to get on. Dixon won't go off. Medley goes back to the bench.
Well, the prop forward, Gary Rose, is certainly getting some bird from the crowd. He's in at every opportunity. He's a rough and tough player, that's for sure.
Hobbs kicks the ball downfield to relieve the pressure. Here's Alan Tate now. Good tackling, Clark. Innes picks up pace. Whoa, what a collision. Innes and Furbank, and then Dixon it was who was pulled up, I think, for the flop.
Well, they've done all the hard work, haven't they? And what do? They come at him again. Crunch. The tackle's been made. And Dixon over the top. Silly penalty. They're just losing their way a little bit. They're all wound up.
And Fallon is halted in his tracks by Hamer's tackle. Dumped to the floor. Lowe's the dummy half. This is Ian Scott. Donahue on the run around with Hanley. That's a good ball to Richie Ayres. Good run from Ayres too, and great defence again from Powell and Dixon. Two former Leeds men working overtime. Hanley past the prone body of Scott, his prop forward. Going down like flies in this match, these players. It's a rough encounter. Iro gets the ball away. Holroyd. The ball bounced back off Bradford ankle. Lowe's is trying the soccer skills, dribbling. And
it's on his right again. It's Lowe's swinging. He was caught offside there when the referee blew up for the penalty.
And Rose is having a go at Clark behind the referee. Well, we said they were all wound up. So much at stake for both these sides, quite apart from points in the big league. Local pride.
Local pride, look at the eyes on that guy. Local anaesthetic, that's what they need. Look at them, they're still wanting to have a go. Even slapping their own players, saying calm down. Impact of the tackle, he was offside there, was Lowe's. Then he kicks. He didn't like the fact, it was Fairbank that threw the first. It was a nice, sharp, short left. And then Rose is going berserk. Geez, am I glad I'm up here on the commentary box.
And Lowe's is in the sin bin. Ellery Hanley is leading the protest, and Lowe's is having a right go at the referee. You can see the blood pouring from Lowe's mouth, and I think he's hard done by here.
The referee, Jim Smith, has said that he's given them 10 minutes in the sin bin for actually using the boot. For
and he's now
out.
looking for Furbank, and Furbank's in 10 minutes too. Well, Furbank, I think it's deserved because he swung the first punch. But perhaps the message will go out to the players now to calm it down.
Let's hope so. Well, it wasn't anything with a boot there, but look at that. That sets the teeth shaking. Get into it. Look at Rose. He's swinging and swinging.
Well, I can't for the life of me see why Lowe's is off the field, but I think it's obvious to all and sundry why Furbank has taken 10 minutes.
Took a while, though. The touch judge had to come on. So let's see even things up here.
Neil Batty, by the way, is the man getting to his feet now there for Leeds, and he is on, and Ian Scott, the prop forward, has come off.
Now this is where either side can start taking control, because if and he's all over the top of him there.
Yeah, Batty holding down Paul Dixon, only just on, concedes the penalty. Watson. Half-time, just over 2 minutes away. And I tell you what, Steve-O, there will be one or two tempers that will be able to come off the boil when they go and have their half-time cups of tea.
Cups of tea? You could boil a cup of tea on some of the heads on these guys.
Fox to Hobbs, and Fox again. This is Powell running straight. Rose and Hanley hold him out. Summers, Derek Fox dabs the ball forward. Fallon knocks on. Oh, Leeds are under intense pressure. They started like a house on fire.
Crafty little kick there from Fox, and he should have taken that. Jim Fallon got plenty for his corner too, but it's a rough and tough game, this. Should have put his body on the line. Tried to pick it up on the half volley, really, when he should have just dropped upon it.
Substitute happening. Mark Wallace with the details.
Yeah, Bradford with a substitution. Paul Newlove coming off. He's the 245 signing from Featherstone. There's Steve McGowan. He was Bradford's leading try scorer last season with 20. That knock must have hurt Newlove. So Steve McGowan only about 1 minute and 10 to go on the pitch.
This is Shelford. Shelford running strongly. Thought about just nipping one out the back door. Thought better of it. Clark is there to Fox. Fox all wrapped up by Hanley. That was a great chase from the lead skipper. Watson the dummy half. Summers. Hobbs. Hobbs straightening up.
He was looking for the inside runner, just couldn't get the ball away.
Summers to Fox. This is Watson. They've got men out wide, and Shelford couldn't hang on to it. Bradford have blown a chance right on half-time.
That was try time there. You could see the substitute Batty way out on the wing. Shelford obviously trying to throw the dummy before he'd had possession. Great chance gone there for Bradford.
Referee wants the scrum to form on the proper mark. Coming up to the 40th minute of this first half. Penalty at the scrum to Leeds.
Feet up. That's a rare one.
We're in stoppage time. I fancy there'll be quite a bit of this. 18-14. Smashing game, though. Match that has everything, doesn't it?
Sure does. Smashing is the operative word.
Bradford making a lot more handling errors than Leeds. It's easy to enjoy this sort of match, Steve-O, from the sanctuary of the commentary box, isn't it?
I love it.
The right on halfway, Leeds with Richie Ayres. Donahue finds Hanley. Dixon round the ankles and Hobbs round the neck. Donahue to Holroyd. Another high kick. Now this is the way Leeds got their first try. Watson this time though reels it in. Gives it to Kevy. Kevy's trapped, picks up a bit of pace now. Donahue slips, Kevy's off. Kevy's on his way. Oh, it was a great tackle, Rose.
It had to be as well. Great run from Kevy. But my heart went into my mouth when I saw David Watson throw out that pass in his own quarter. Flashback to Central Park in the second test.
Powell with the run. Paul Dixon's being led off the field as we watch this. Dixon's obviously in some distress. Medley will come on. Medley straight back on because it's an injured player, so Medley's on the field. Hobbs with the kick forward. Will it run dead? No, Alan Tate's going to have to run it out. Medley's after him. Great run from Medley.
Super play there from the substitute Medley, but Tate did well. He just threw himself into the field of play.
That was Caudle's tackle. Here's Neil Batty for Leeds. Man on loan from Doncaster. Formerly with Castleford, Neil Batty. Gets the ball away there. Does Tate to Donahue. He in turn keeps the movement going to Hanley. Batty to Ayres. Ayres under pressure from Summers. This is Rose. Long pass out to Fallon. Fallon inside to Iro. Iro has got Steve McGowan all over him, pulling his shorts down. Tate with the kick forward, but far too long.
Acknowledges to his teammates. Too much weight with that one. And sigh of relief from Bradford there. Leeds really did put a good passage of play together. They're keeping the ball alive, supporting the man with the football.
3 minutes of stoppage time, first half. Trevor Clark, the dummy half. Medley, the runner. Medley, a man who counts Leeds in his CV. Had 4 years at Headingley. This is Summers. Donahue, in his first match, the tackler for Leeds. Fox with the kick, arrows it towards the corner. It's Vasilakopoulos, the substitute. Wrapped up by Caudle.
Bradford's kicking game late in this first half has been superb. Both Hobbs and Derek Fox punching the ball well and truly into the corner.
Rose, oh, that's a risky pass, but Donahue applied the brakes and was able to backtrack and pick it up. Hanley now. Powell and Hobbs are there. Dixon, incidentally, Paul Dixon, the second rower, who's gone off the field to be replaced by Paul Medley. Dixon is in the blood bin. Watson just keeps the ball in play and then steps away from Fallon and gets a great ball to Kevy, who is wrapped up by Iro. That's the last moment of this first half. There's the half-time siren. A tremendous match here at Valley Parade. Kevin Iro has run as strong as anyone. Tate, well, he made the mistake. Shelford with one of the tries in the first half. Great game. 18-14 Bradford at half-time. So half-time in a real rough, tough encounter at Valley Parade sees Bradford ahead by 18 points to 14 after Leeds had taken a 12-0 advantage. Statistics from the first half, well, not much to choose in the tackling department. Scrums 6-5 in Bradford's favour, 6-3 penalties to Bradford. Handling errors, Bradford have made 9 to Leeds' 4, and Bradford saw more of the ball in that first half after they weathered the opening 20 minutes that was a real storm. We saw both sides of Alan Tate in that first half. First of all, the try that he scored almost out of nothing following Holroyd's towering kick downfield, and then the mistake under the tackle from Darryl Shelford, which led to a Bradford Northern try. All to play for then second half. 4 points the difference between these two proud Yorkshire clubs. And it's Leeds now who have to come back and get themselves into a match that, after 20 minutes of the first half, Steve-O, it looked as though they had it almost in their pocket.
Yes, it's been this story all season for Leeds, hasn't it? Get themselves into a good position and then silly mistakes allow the side to come back into it. But full credit to Bradford. They really did show a lot of character, giving away 2 tries early in the piece, but they really have fought back well. They have not panicked. That has been the key, and also the kicking game has been superb.
Paul Dixon, by the way, is out of the blood bin for Bradford Northern, but Paul Medley has stayed on the field, number 15, just running out of your picture there. He has replaced David Hobbs, the veteran Bradford prop forward.
I expect the first 10 minutes of this second half to be pretty similar to what was on the show from the kickoff. The forwards will really tough it out.
Tough being the operative word. Last tackle this for Leeds. Take the chance. Holroyd was under pressure from Hamer. Just had to hack the ball downfield. And McGowan, who's on the field, of course, in place of the injured Paul Newlove, makes a bit of a meal of picking it up and is then trapped in his own 20-metre zone. Hanley and Iro closing him down. Here's Darryl Shelford. Fox, the dummy half. Powell. Couldn't get away from Rose or from Richie Ayres then. Dixon running straight. Turning in the tackle. The ball hit a Leeds man. It's play on. Those Bradford players not offside. And what's more, it's back to 6 tackles here for Bradford.
Good refereeing there. The ball went backwards without any doubt. Had a strong game, hasn't he, John Hamer? Shows a lot of pace for a prop forward.
Very underestimated player too. Watson, good ball in field too. McGowan, high tackle on McGowan.
Look at this. Mercer coming right over the top. Welcome to the game, Mr. McGowan. Oh.
Well, Gary Mercer, former Bradford man, began as a winger with them actually, now of course playing in the second row for both Leeds and the New Zealand international side. It's a penalty to Bradford Northern, and Derek Fox has decided he'll have a pot at goal here. This would stretch the Bradford advantage over Leeds to 6 points. It's by far Fox's most difficult kick of the afternoon. At 31 metres out and at a bit of an angle, but the right angle for a right-footed kicker like Fox. And he just misses though. So scoreline stays the same here at Valley Parade. Both sides, by the way, now back to full complement of 13. The players in the sin bin, Carl Furbank for Bradford Northern and James Lowes of Leeds, are now back on the field. Here's Paul Medley. Gets away from Innes. Tries to run through Vasilakopoulos. Good tackle from the youngster. Caudle gets it to Hamer. He gets away from Lowes. Innes is there. No, the substitute again, the youngster. Summers running straight. Batty and the second rower Ayres bring him down. Right in front of the post, Bradford. Fox switches direction of play. Furbank, Watson, quick hands, Clark. He finds Medley almost. Ball bounces down off the leg, was it, of Innes? No, the referee says knock on.
Medley just couldn't take it in, could he? He was virtually scoring the try before taking possession of the football. But neat work there by Bradford. They're turning in the tackle, and there's plenty of support.
Donahue gets the ball away from the base of the scrum, but Fox wheels him in. Lowes gets the pass out to Batty. Good run from Batty. halted only by an excellent tackle from Trevor Clark. Now Alan Tate from dummy half. Fallon. Mercer is the runner. Medley stood up to the challenge well, so too did Hamer. Here's Richie Ayres. Screen for that ball. Holroyd. Dinks one over the top. That's inventive play from the youngster. And again, Kevy's there though, and he clears up the danger for Bradford.
Super player by the youngster Graham Holroyd. Got his boot to it the second time. And it had to be Brimmer Kevy there to save the day. It's the type of play that Leeds will be looking for in the second half. Doing something different. And he's the man, Graham Holroyd. Really has got a big bag of tricks.
Watson dummy half. He looked up and saw a big gap over on this side of the field. Planted the ball down there. Summers is leading the chase on Tate. Tate won't have much room to breathe here because Summers and Caudle are there, and Summers wheels him in. It's a splendid chase from the Bradford standoff half.
It's been a great feature of their game today. A long kick into the corner. Can't remember a bad one coming from the Bradford side. The turn leads around time and time again.
Hanley with the strength. That's a great run from Hanley. Iro is there. Iro, forward pass, was it? No, play on, says the referee. Try for Iro. His second. It looked forward, the last pass from Hanley. Referee Jim Smith was right up there, but the smile from Iro says it all. The score's a level.
What great play from the skipper, Ellery Hanley, showing all the skill and the speed that's made him one of the great players in the world of rugby league. Look how he turns on the gas there. Now at this point, Iro looms up, and he appeared to be in front pretty hard on that angle, but great support play there by Kevin Iro, but it was super play. You'll see it easier here. Well, that looked forward, didn't it? For the referee there, you can see, up with the play. He says play on. The finger tells the story.
Hanley with the strength, the speed and the creativity for Kevin Iro. Graham Holroyd takes a well-deserved drink because he's just added the extra two from bang in front. And this seesaw of a game now swings Leeds' way. But this is the pass again, Steve-O, and it looks a mile forward.
Well, at this point, it looks as though Iro's actually gone in front of him there. He stood in front of him there. It has to be a forward pass.
But did Furbank get a hand to it, I wonder?
Either way, 6 points have gone on the scoreboard. That is the only thing that counts.
So Leeds back in front. Here it is again.
Looks to be in front of him, doesn't he?
It wasn't Furbank, it was Hamer anyway. Anyway, as you say, Steve-O, it's on the scoreboard and Leeds have the advantage.
What a gritty performance from Leeds. First we saw Bradford claw their way back and take the lead. Now Leeds are doing just that. What a game.
Thriller, isn't it? Absolute thriller. Plenty of talking points in this game. Leeds have not won away from home since the first Friday night of the big league season here on Sky at Castleford. They won their first two games. There was high hopes in the Headingley camp, and just recently they've hit a bit of a slump in form. But the slump in form won't last long if this is typical of their displays for the rest of the season. Shelford dummy half to Fox, and now Powell.
The important thing for Leeds now is to get this defence really sorted out. They're the one in front. It's Bradford that have to do all the chasing. Take the gambles.
High kick, Tate underneath it. He took that one brilliantly, and he was under pressure too.
Runaway truck. Lot of confidence. Wasn't afraid of that one, Alan Tate.
Lowe's dummy half. Here's Tate again. Good tackling by Medley. Gary Rose. Powell and Dixon, they've got through some work against their former club. Here's Gary Mercer against his former club. Holroyd hoists another high kick. Watson coming across, and that's the gamble you take. Hanley was sniffing there for the try like they got in the first half through Tate. Just too late. So Bradford in possession with Watson again. Here's Furbank. This game swinging from end to end. Let's go downstairs to Mark Wallace.
Well, Dr. Lanfria, the local doctor, certainly had a busy half-time. Craig Innes had a pain-killing injection to his left foot. That apparently is an old injury. He's had it for a few months now. Simon Irving, who is still on the bench, he's bruised the inside of his knee. He looks doubtful for the second half. In the Leeds dressing room, Doug Lawton said to consolidate and cut out the errors. And in the Bradford dressing room, Peter Fox said also to cut out the errors and try to use the wind.
He said cut out the errors, but there's an error from Summers. That pass way in front of Gerald Caudle.
No chance for Caudle to get that. The angry look Caudle gave Neil Summers. Patted his chest saying, I want it here, not down on the floor.
Donahue feeds, the ball hardly went into the scrum, but then he gets it away to Vasilakopoulos. And the youngster playing the ball, and that was experience from Furbank that got it back for Bradford. Struck for it with his foot. Great stuff.
Super play by Fairbank. This is Bradford's chance.
Here's Watson. Gets the ball away. Watson to Powell. He keeps the movement going to McGowan. McGowan urged on by this huge crowd at Valley Parade. Watson bang in front of the post. Clark heading for the line. Clark, and desperate defence from Leeds. That's how close Bradford are. Watson again. Long pass this time to Medley. Medley doesn't take it cleanly. The ball went backwards. Caudle will continue it on. Caudle with the run. Hanley brings him down.
Great ball and all tackled by Hanley.
Fox turns the ball back inside to the runner who was Powell. Powell still going, twisting and turning, and the Leeds defence stands firm again. Last tackle. Summers. Now Powell went for it himself, and Holroyd just hacks the ball out.
Good thinking by Powell, nearly got to it. Holroyd was equal to the task. Kicked through there, he tried it. Let's get out of here. Good thinking by Holroyd. Don't take any gambles.
Powell so close to a try against the team that let him go. Holroyd's drop out from under the posts to the halfway line, and Watson. Watson with that languid style of his, and then he picks up the pace, but didn't have enough speed to get away from James Lowe's. Fox the dummy half. Here's Darryl Shelford. Saw three ahead of him. One of them was Ayres, and Shelford came off worse then. Medley running strongly from dummy half. Right through Holroyd, almost through Vasilakopoulos, and Medley just held up by yet more desperate defence. Fox, Summers, he's got Dixon there! Great tackle! Alan Tate saved 4 points then. But Bradford keep the ball alive. Here's Powell. Such pressure from Bradford Northern.
What great defence from Leeds. Alan Tate, ball and all. That was try time.
Clark gets the ball away eventually to Watson. Watson dabs it through, and he ran into the back of the referee, who had his back turned.
He's giving. I'm going to say he's going to.
He had his back turned, the referee didn't see the Bradford player go down. It's a tap on the 20-metre mark.
Well, Trevor Clark thought that it was play on. He tried to tackle him. Now then, was he taken out? Watson goes through. Well, Tate just stood there. He doesn't have to move. Nothing in the rule book that states that you've got to get out of the way, man running to it. Crowd went berserk behind the post.
The Bradford Northern players did too. Iro, he's already scored 2 tries, his first 2 of the season. He's on a hat-trick. He's brought Vasilakopoulos in. That's a good ball from Innes, but to Innes rather, but Innes couldn't get the ball away. Summers drops it. Lowe's has it for Leeds. Oh, take your eye off this one, if you dare. The ball is back with Leeds and Holroyd. Good ball to Tate. Men out wide. One of them's Fallon. Try! Excellent! What a great try from Leeds. Bradford were content to work the ball out. Leeds got it back and scored.
Stretched the defence and the link worked perfectly. Donahue, the long ball out wide. And the youngster Holroyd, perfect timing. He chimed in well, did Tate, and fed that man. Super stuff from Fallon. Quick play the ball, that's what it counts. Donahue, look at that, the stretching this tight defence. But that perfect pass there. Tate running on, chimes away. The looping pass out to Fallon. Great play. What a try. But you have to come back to the fact that Leeds made a mistake. They dropped the ball. Was picked up by Neil Summers. And lo and behold, what does Summers do? He drops it too.
Jim Fallon's second try, his first since September. But it was scored over in the corner, and this is a difficult conversion attempt for Holroyd. But the lad's a great kicker. Sensational conversion off the touchline from the teenager. 5 from 5 for Graham Holroyd today.
This was a perfect pass there from Holroyd. Tate coming through on the burst. Reach for it, the looping pass. That is a great try.
So 26 points to Leeds and 18 to Bradford, and Bradford, who took the lead up to half-time, now have to work hard again to get back into this match. They're 8 points adrift.
Well, for how many months have we been saying, and a lot of fans have been saying, that Leeds do not have much team spirit? Well, on today's performance, you can't doubt that. They really have rolled up the sleeves. They've worked hard, none more so than Mercer.
Yes, they've dug deep on the reserves of courage. Mercer didn't want to play that one because he could see that Furbank perhaps was going to strike for it again. Lowe's chips over the top. Watson waits for it and Powell gets it.
Just shows you what the confidence can do there. The hooker Lowe's, realising there was no sweeper in. Blood streaming from Lowe's mouth, courtesy of that left hook from Fairbank.
Clark the dummy half. Here's Hamer. Now Derek Fox. Long pass from Fox to Dixon. He gives it to Kebby. Kebby cuts in field. Eventually straightens up, but Gary Rose was watching and waiting. Fox. Summers holds on to the pass. That was forward too. This is Shelford. He gives it now to Cornell, and Cornell for the line. The strength and the pace. Another excellent try. We have seen some cracking rugby league today. An element of a forward pass, further back on in the move, but what a try.
Neil Summers just holds the ball up superbly, throws the dummy, goes round the man, and Shelford races away. Look at the timing, throws the dummy first. There was no chance for Vasilakopoulos to do anything about it. In he goes, this Caudle. That is a superb try. But watch from the long angle how Summers just throws the dummy, goes through the man. 50-50 in my book, either way. Beautiful pass there. The young substitute, no chance. Didn't he do well to cut back inside too? No chance of being taken out into the corner.
Great try from Gerald Caudle. It gives Fox this conversion attempt. He's just not pushed it far enough left. It certainly had the legs, but not the direction. So, 4 points now, the difference between these two sides. Well, this crowd know that this match is a long, long way from being over yet, and Ian Scott has returned to the fray for Leeds, for Craig Innes. So it's a forward coming back on for one of the three quarters. I wonder, Steve-o, whether that will cut Leeds' options down in attack. It'll certainly do their defence no harm. Having said that, Innes isn't a bad defensive player.
No, they'll move up very quickly, though. They realise they're still in the lead. That's important. That's a silly penalty to give away. No good looking at the referee, Jim Smith. He's well aware there was no chance to allow John Hamer to get up there. Look at him, messing around with him. Talk about putting yourself under a lot of pressure.
Yes, here come Bradford again with Powell. Rose and Scott combine to bring him down. Clark to Furbank. Furbank through two. He's looking for support. Nobody is with him. What a great bust from Carl Furbank that was. Fox. Long pass Dixon. Medley's there. Dixon. Dixon try against his former club. A moment for Paul Dixon to savour. And it gets Bradford level pegging.
Well, Leeds paid the price, didn't they? They gave away the penalty. Bradford in the position. Fairbank does the burst. And from this play, the ball, it all just falls apart for the Leeds defence. And Dixon, he does a little shimmy. It's hardly a dummy. The ball coming out wide. You can see how the Leeds defence just hang off. That was enough. The strength of the man twists and turns. That's a great try. What a fight back. Look at that. Just swung the ball, twists in the tackle. Referee in a great position too. Wow, what a fight back.
What a game, and what a vital conversion coming up from Fox. And Fox turns away as the ball heads toward the posts. He knew it was over and safe, and Bradford now are back in the lead.
You can see the Leeds defence, they're standing back, they're not moving forward, and that's the reason. Look how they hang off him. The momentum takes him over. He'll savour that, as Eddie said. A try against his old club. And what a vital one too.
Well, all of Paul Dixon's tries this season have come in home fixtures. Even though Bradford are away from Odsal today, this is still their home fixture here at Valley Parade. We've seen, and a mess completely by Bree McKevy. He knocked on.
Kevy saying that it went backwards. It did as well, but the referee stating that we'll take the knock on. That's the dropout from underneath the post. It's still not over yet. Plenty of time in this.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that matches only last 80 minutes, but well, this one could go on all night for me. It's been a cracker. Absolute belting entertainment. I know there's been plenty of fists flying, but the excitement, 28-26. Steve-o, this is developing into a classic of its kind.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful play. Excellent try scored. A couple of mistakes, but that's all brought about by the pressure, isn't it?
Donahue, the man on his debut, and languishing in the A-team at Lee for the last few weeks, brought to Headingley on loan, and he's got the penalty. Powell wouldn't let him alone, and Roy Powell concedes what could be easily a costly penalty.
Well, it was just stupid from Powell. What on earth? No way in the world he could play that ball right in front of the sticks. Gives the chance now for Leeds to square things up. Well, they just lose the marbles, don't they, under the pressure, some of them.
This fellow with a faultless goal-kicking record today, Graham Holroyd. This is the easiest of the afternoon, and it's 6 out of 6. And the scores are level again. Well, we had a 16-all draw on Sky on Friday. That was pretty good for entertainment and excitement, but this has topped it. And a long, long time to go yet. But are we on the way to our second successive draw?
Well, it's not often I part with my money, but I'll have a couple of shillings on this one that it won't be a draw. Plenty of time. Which team is going to tie it out first? It's all down to stamina now.
How much is a shilling, by the way? Could you tell me?
Not that old woman.
Let's go downstairs to Mark Wallace.
Tony, it looks like this one could go all the way to the wire.
Yes, what a tremendous game it's been. You know, the pressure's still on there. We've just got a penalty by the looks of it, so I think Derrick's going to go for this one.
It's end-to-end stuff at the moment, isn't it, Tony? It seems to be just no let-up at all.
That's right, you know, like I say, it's a good, hard, physical game, and it's a great game for a neutral watching, yeah.
Oh, it's a great game, Tony Marchant saying it all. The Bradford Northern man, it's a great game for a neutral. And we have a penalty to Bradford now.
Well, you said saying it all. One of the Leeds players said just a little bit too much on that occasion. Referees don't like being spoken to in that manner, and this could well prove costly. Not happy with it, Derrick Fox.
Just fell off the little mountain of sand. So 28 all, this for 30-28. We'll need a calculator before this one's over. 30-28 it is. Now, is this the reason why the penalty was given? Gary Rose is having a few words to say. It was a knock-on, I think, against James Lowes that was the original decision, wasn't it?
It was. And the lips were moving. Perhaps we don't know what was said. Either way, the referee didn't like it. Bradford did.
Well, this match is certainly the pick of the day in the Stones Bitter Championship this weekend. Didn't have a bad game at St Helens on Friday night, did we? My word, this is full of entertainment, and we have 12 minutes left for play plus stoppages. Bradford just ahead. Medley with the run. Scragged to the floor by Gary Mercer.
He's made his presence felt, hasn't he, Medley, since he came on.
Here's Hamer.
He's been tough in the forward encounter.
Trevor Clark is there, now it's with Fox, and he helps it on to Fairbank, who bursts through again, gets it to Dixon. Dixon tried to get the ball away to Summers, and Summers just couldn't pick it up with the fingertips.
Well, it was never on. It should have gone to ground for that. Bradford don't need to do things like that. They're the side that's in front. Especially within your own half. You don't take gambles like that. I'm sure the word will be coming out from their coach, Peter Fox. Stick to it. They should have just played out the six and booted the ball down into the corner, what they've done all day.
Mercer taking that pass on the charge. There is Peter Fox, watching intently from the dugout here at Valley Parade. Gary Rose. Quick play the ball, that's what's called for. Here's Holroyd. Holroyd on the last tackle, hoists a high kick. Nobody wants it. Bounces to Lowes. Lowes gets the ball out, but that was untidy.
Knock on by Kevin Iro. Bradford just held off. I knew there was no danger, really.
Watson buries underneath the three Leeds bodies. 2 points the difference between these two sides. They've served up a storming game. Fox. The runner was Medley again. He's run strongly, as you rightly say, Steve, all afternoon since he's appeared. Clark has done the same.
Much better play from Bradford. Keeping hold of this ball. They know possession is vital.
It's the last tackle this, and Fox has chipped through. Fallon waited for it, and he went through the gap, but he gets away from Fox. He also gets away from Dixon. Here's Tate. Well, we're in the last 10 minutes. Holroyd steps inside. Good run from him. Great tackle from Furbank. Batty is the dummy half. There's Gary Rose. Rose straight.
Bradford has stretched out wide.
Hanley. He's already created plenty for Leeds. Can he create what could be a match-winning try? His pass to Tate. Oh, great goalkeeping from Neil Summers.
Super Tate on the burst. This has had everything, hasn't it? Great defence, great tries, strong burst from this guy again. Oh, swinging right arm from Mercer. Bit of frustration going in there. Cop that.
Fox to Watson, to Furbank again. Furbank was just hauled down. Richie Ayres and Ellery Hanley. Clark again. Here's Hamer taking over the hard business. Gets the ball away to Clark. Good defence again, Leeds.
He's lost it as Clark. Bad mistake there from the hooker. Never really took control of it. Donahue takes it. Leeds still in with a chance now.
2 points difference. 8 minutes to go, plus anything that might be added by the timekeepers. Jim Fallon in possession for Leeds, far side. Rose with the run. Gets the ball away to Lowe's. Here's Donahue. Hanley running from dummy half. Powell with him. Also there, Medley. Releases the pass. Batty picks himself up. Lowe's, they decide to come this way to Iro. Iro hammers the ball into the knees of Paul Medley, and the ball goes out. It'll be Leeds head and feed.
Yes, he went for it, Medley there. Definitely struck out the right boot. So Leeds will have the chance. Still plenty of time. It's not panic situation as yet.
Donahue gets possession, finds Holroyd. Was that a knock-on? The referee's blown the whistle. Yes, knock-on. The youngster doesn't agree with him.
Definite knock-on, lost control of it. Well, he's had a fine game as a youngster. But what a bad time to come up with a mistake.
So another chance looming for Bradford. They're right on the halfway line with Fox, now with Watson. Watson misses out Summers, decides to run it, offers it to McGowan. The defence had shuttled across, it was Hanley. Watson to Fox, Powell.
Gee, there's some tired boys out there. You can see the defence slow to move up. Not surprisingly, it really has been played at 100 miles an hour, this game.
Dixon.
Oh. Hasn't it been tough? Dixon really caught one there. Mercer into it. They're so tired.
Here's Hamer. Gets almost through Hanley. The ball bounces off the knees of Rose, but it will be knock-on against John Hamer.
Now, why on earth are they trying to get that ball away? Now, was it punch cleared as well? But really, Hamer should have been just taking it down. When they've got a man like Derek Fox, he can pop over the one-pointer. That's what they should be doing. That never went in the scrum.
They rarely do these days.
At least they make a token effort.
Donahue, I think, came the wrong way then. Just held on to the ball, but only just. It was behind him. Handling errors creeping up. Bradford made 16, Leeds 8. It will matter naught if Bradford win this match. Somehow Gary Rose got that ball away to Lowe's, and Lowe's somehow is keeping going. Eventually Trevor Clark brings him down with a little bit of help, not inconsiderable help from Powell. Donahue, Tate, Mercer. Tackled by Fox, gets the ball away to Donahue. He gets the ball away neatly to Batty. Batty running straight through a gap. The support is there from Ayres. Back to Tate. Tate knocks on. Bradford pick it up. Bradford breathe a big sigh of relief.
Oh, great play by Leeds, but that last pass, Tate just couldn't get it. Powell swinging into the tackle. He caught it badly, did Tate. It was a crunch time. He felt it as well.
And the referee stopped the action to allow the trainer on to treat Alan Tate.
Here you see the replay. Just behind him, he had to drag it. The impact of the tackle from Powell shuttered the ball clear. Not well, isn't Tate, I can assure you. That really was a cruncher.
Well, he'll hope to be fit for Wednesday when Leeds next play them then at Norton Park, where Alan Tate began his career in the big league. And that is certainly one that he and his coach, the former Widnes mentor Doug Lawton, will be looking forward to. Wednesday night in the big league, that is. We'll have highlights of that for you on Boots and All Thursday.
Well, Bradford, all they have to do now is just work out these 6. One-man football. May not be pretty, but it's always lost it.
No, it was stolen by Hanley.
Yes, you can see the arm there, trying to pull away at the ball. Quite clear. Well,
with this rule, Steve-o, some you'll win, some you'll lose. He lost that one.
Well, he was trying, wasn't it? He knows the desperation of it. 2 points behind, the seconds ticking away. This is where the forwards have not to do anything stupid. Peter Fox will be screaming to them. Just play it out, play the 6. Let's get the 1 point perhaps, and come back and regain possession.
It was a swirling penalty from Derek Fox, and Bradford now really are on the charge. They're 10 metres short of that Leeds line. Powell at dummy half. Dragging it back towards the posts. Are we in for the 1 point here from Fox? He's setting himself for it. No, they've decided to run it with Watson. But Watson brings the play back to exactly the same spot. But Watson fancies 4. Out the back door to McGowan. McGowan to Hamer. Hamer to Powell. Powell sees a little gap. Powell through. Will Powell score? He has! Roy Powell with the try that wins this match for Bradford against the team that let him go. Drama in the closing moments here, and Powell, only his 2nd try of the season, he will savour that one for the remainder of this campaign.
Well, they took the gamble, Bradford, to keep the ball alive. When the ball gets flicked out from here from Watson, he just takes it. Look at that. McGowan goes through, back inside. It took him all the way to get going, didn't it? But look at the long stride there. For once, the Leeds defence held out, and look at that fingertip control. Referee in a super position to see it all. Switching back inside. Difficult man to pull down, isn't he, David Watson? The gamble there, out it goes. The Leeds defence is totally shot. Once he got going, nobody went low too early, and the fingertips gains the 4. It all came about again from a penalty from Ellery Hanley. Dixon's try just before that also came from that. They take the gamble, did Ellery Hanley, did not pay.
Fox then to make it absolutely safe, and he does. 36-28. A famous victory this for Bradford. The 2nd year in succession they've scored 36 in the home fixture against Leeds. The difference, though, is that Bradford have conceded quite a few today as well.
Well, you can see how the defence is all straight back on the line. They're very tired indeed. When you keep the ball alive like this all the time, there's nothing you can do about it.
So Bradford now will simply play out the remaining seconds, and we are in stoppage time. There will be quite a bit of that.
Well, what a night for the former Leeds players. Paul Dixon, Roy Powell, they've supplied the killer punch late in the second half. But what a match it's been. All players, they deserve all the applause from this big crowd. It's been a super effort from both teams.
Certainly has, and Leeds are down to 12 men for the closing seconds. Batty has gone off, and Leeds have run out of substitutions. Tate is down a blind alley. Bradford will not let him pass.
That's been one of the great highlights of this game, the kicking game from Bradford. They really have had it on song.
There it is, full-time siren. Dixon shakes hands. Roy Powell, well, his smile is as big as anyone's on this pitch, because the former Leeds men have come up trumps against the big spenders from Headingley. Bradford's decision to play at Valley Parade, totally vindicated. Sensational game here at Valley Parade, 10 breathtaking tries. Summer scored 2 of them, Shelford, Caudle, Powell and Dixon for Bradford. Iro with his 2 for Leeds, Tate and Fallon. Holroyd was impeccable with the boot, and Fox kicked well for Bradford Northern. But what a day for the former Leeds men, Roy Powell and Paul Dixon.
Paul, victory's always sweet, but it doesn't get much sweeter than against your old club, does it?
No, it was a rough, tough game, and we expected it that way, but it's very nice to come out on the winning side.
Before the game, Peter Fox was saying that the forward battle would be a key area. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, we expected it rough and tough, and they came out and they was firing into us. But we matched them, and in the end of the game, we came out on top.
Peter, we talked before this game. You said if Leeds performed, this could be an absolute classic of a game. You were right.
That's right. They got Hanley back, and he's a big mentor for them, is Ellery. He inspires them. But today, he inspired him the right way when he made the break for this try that got them in front again. And he's also a man to be reckoned with, but we tackled him well most of the game. We kept him out of things when it was important to do so.
Went in at half-time in the lead. What did you say to the boys at half-time?
I'll tell you what I said, simply. I said, we've got to win this game despite what Leeds do and despite what the referee does. Because if you watch the television and the errors that he's made, they all went in favour of one team, and it wasn't us. So we to keep coming from behind. We came from behind and we came from behind, but at the end of the day, we were in the right place at the right time of the day and right time of the match. And our lads performed splendidly after being 12-0 down. I'm very optimistic about this side. We're not altogether putting it together all the time. We're still making certain errors, which we try and iron out in training. When we do the tactical session, we talk to the lads. But Summersy has carried a dead leg again all day, and he's played superb. When he put that kick in for the try that Shelford scored, a run and kick from early ball, run and kick and take him on. Nobody in the world can catch him if he gets his kick through and chases through. And we're encouraging them to play rugby, open rugby, moving the ball and playing open rugby, and that's what we try to play.